guys, it's Anna. Last week on my blog, I put up a little newbie know-how Photoshop tutorial and showed you guys how to put an image or a photo into letters or text. So hopefully somebody found that useful. And I am just starting out, so please remember that. I'm making my first video here, so we'll see how this goes. Today I wanted to show you how to make a dotted circle. It's pretty easy to make shapes in Photoshop, but the dots or the dashes is just a couple extra steps with the brush tool, so we'll go ahead and get started. You just want to open your workspace. I'm just going to do a nice good sized square here, so we'll open that up. And a good habit to get into right off the bat is to go ahead and make a duplicate copy of your background layer. When you're working with photos and stuff like that, it's an easy way to go backward as opposed to making changes to your original file. That's the best way I understand that, so I figure I'll just get into the habit now. So go ahead and select your background and right click, and you'll go ahead and duplicate your layer. You can also use Control-J anytime you want to duplicate your layer, so that comes in nice and handy. So now you can see we have our copy there. So we are going to go to our shapes and right click, and we want to make sure the ellipse tool is selected, which it is. And the next thing we go up and check is to see which option here we have. We want the middle one, but I'll go ahead and show you what the other one does. If you're a new Photoshop learner like me. The first one is going to fill in your shape with whatever color you have down here. So it's pretty useful, but that's not what we're going to use today. So just Control-Z to delete that. We'll go ahead and choose our next option here and make our circle. And then you can see that we just get the outline, which is what we want today. Another little tip is if you just start making your shape by your mouse button or your laptop, you're going to get all sorts of weird shapes, which you might want to make an oval, or you might want to make a weird huge circle. But I like the shift key because it makes me a perfect circle. So just hold that shift key down while you're making your shape, and it will go ahead and put the right dimensions there for you. And of course I slipped. There we go. Okay, next thing we want to do is play around with our brushes. So head over here, choose your brush tool, then we're going to go up to Window, Brushes, and you can see there is a keyboard shortcut of F5, so that'll come in handy. And we can go ahead and play around with our brush. So we'll go ahead and just go with 19. That's nice, and it's a solid line here, but we want dots, so go ahead and increase the spacing, and you can see that's where your dots start to form. So we'll go ahead and leave it right there. You can play around with whatever spacing you'd like for whatever project you're trying to do. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Get out of there. Next, what we're going to do, since we have our brush, is go over to Paths and right click on Work Path, head down to Stroke Path, and we have our brush tool, which is what we want. Go ahead and click OK, and we have a lovely dotted circle. So you can also see that we do have a little bit of overlap here, and the only way to fix that, as far as I know, is to go back into your brush tool and just play around with the spacing a little bit. So if there is another way to do that, if you want to let me know, that would be awesome. So this eyeballing it is really the only way that I've found so far. So we'll try it again, see what happens. And perfect, we have no overlap, so that's exactly what we wanted. So next thing, that we'll look at is how to add different colors into the dots. So this is cool, but if you want kind of a funky little multicolored circle, we can do some other things. So we'll just open a new little palette here. It's easy. And we will go ahead and make sure our tools are the same here. We will create another circle, and we are going to head on over to our brush tool here, and we've got the same thing, but if we leave everything as it is right here, we're just going to get that purple circle again. So what we want to do is to choose another color. I already have a lovely shade of mint chosen here, my favorite color of the moment. So we'll go ahead and get out of there. So we have our purple and our mint. And in the brushes tool, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure color dynamics is selected. That's what's going to give you your multicolored. So if you head there, click on it, make sure the foreground and background jitter is at 100%. And we're good. So you can head out of there, go back over to paths, right click on your work path, down to stroke path again, and click OK. And there is our funky, fun, multicolored circle. And we do have some overlap, but we won't worry about that for now. Hopefully that gives you the gist of things. And if you want to get rid of that line in the back, all you have to do is delete the path and it's gone. So hopefully that was easy enough to follow along in my first video here, and somebody somewhere learned what I'm learning in Photoshop. So lots of fun. Alrighty guys, we will see you tomorrow.